Hello, good morning. It's Thursday the 24th. I'm FX Blue and this is the market brief. So, Governor Bailey's been on again. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago he drew plenty of criticism when he asked workers not to demand inflation-busting pay rises? Well, he's been at it again. This time it was the banks that he singled out, and he's called for restraint when deciding the level of bonus payments. He went on to say that the need for restraints applies to everyone from care home workers to those city bankers. Drawing on those two natural bedfellows, someone should really ask him to stop digging. But to put all this in a little context, these comments were made when he was testifying before the House of Commons Treasury Committee. So Bailey, who earns £575,000 a year, was reporting to a panel of MPs, who rarely show restraint when awarding themselves inflation-busting pay rises, suggesting that care home workers and bankers should not seek a pay rise in line with inflation. And that's because he's failed to control inflation to a reasonable level, which is his job, which he is paid £575,000 a year to do. Inflation is currently at 5.5% and it's forecast to continue up to about 7.5%. But for now, part of his solution is for bonus day envelopes to be a lot lighter. You can just imagine all the Barclays big dogs being all too accepting when they're told that their bonus was going to be a fat oneer, but because Bailey asked for restraint, here's 50 grand. Have a good afternoon. And don't forget that according to Bailey, that equally applies to care home workers as well. Honestly, he's on a different planet. But much of this madness was overlooked by the market as conditions are obviously dominated by Ukraine at the moment. Yesterday, the safe haven trading saw sterling drop to 135.35 against the dollar, and it has dropped further overnight as Vladimir Putin has announced military operations in Ukraine. We open around the 135 mark against the dollar, but we are holding up slightly better against the euro, where we open around 120.10. So yes, Putin is the main focus, and the US is hard pressed to avoid the question of what the bloody hell are you going to do about it? An invasion, or a military operation as Putin would call it, has been predicted for a couple of weeks now. Of course it's been strongly denied as the intention by Moscow, but now it is underway and it looks like Russian troops, or Russia rather, had a pop at a military base or an air base already this morning. No doubt we've got plenty more developments due on that day, a little later today rather, as news filters through. Well, I'm just going to turn around because it's a bit muddy over there. Sorry to drop out of shot. But aside from World War III, back home in the US, it's all about the Fed rate hike. Q4 data is due out today for GDP, and we'll see, that'll help give us a steer whether 25 or 50 basis points is likely to be seen when the Fed meet next. It's expected around 7%, but keep an eye out for 7.5%, as that could give a steer. The dollar index rallied as risk appetite collapsed yesterday. We saw 96.75 on the open, as euro dollar opens this morning down a little. That cracks on around 112.40 this morning. Right, that's it from me. Stay safe if you're in the Eastern Bloc. And do join me again tomorrow. All the best.
If you do not have a clue, then just tweet through and ask FX Blue.